Hi, I'm Kristina Bergsten with the Animal Law Firm, where we are fighting for the underdog. Today I would like to talk to you about what to do in New Jersey if you're accused of owning a potentially dangerous or a dangerous dog and your dog gets impounded. So here's the thing. If the animal control comes to your door and they're like, we need to take your dog, then you can be like, go pound sand, get a warrant, and then hide your dog. Because as soon as you give your dog over to law enforcement, they will put your dog in a stinky, dirty shelter, like a 4x4 cage, where your dog is going to sit there surrounded by other dogs. Basically, your dog's going to go into solitary confinement, and it's going to be awful, and everyone's going to treat your dog like they're the worst animal on the planet, and your dog will get no walks, no loving pets, no attention. Like, they'll shove your dog's food under the cage door, so like nothing. The dog will only be let out so they can clean the cage, possibly. So you don't want your dog to go into a shelter. Plus, you've got to pay for your dog to be in that shelter, which is terrible. In New Jersey, you'll have to pay that cost at the end if you plead guilty or are found guilty. In very, very rare circumstances, they will waive the cost. I've had it done in other cases, but I can't guarantee that will happen in every single case. So yeah, I mean, if they come to your door and they're like, we need to take your dog, then you can be like, go get a warrant, and then immediately turn around, give your dog to a friend, a family member, somebody who is not going to give your dog up to law enforcement. Don't give your dog to a boarding facility necessarily, because then they can get a warrant to take the dog from the boarding facility. So give your dog up. This may result in further criminal charges, such as failure to obey a lawful order or some version of it. I forget what New Jersey's version of it is. However, I would much rather be dealing with getting failure to obey a lawful order dismissed than trying to get your dog out of impound. And the reason is because there's absolutely no standards to get your dog out of impound. It's just like some dipwad animal control officer who's like, oh, this dog is dangerous. And I swear to God, most of them do not like dogs and would kill a dog if they could get away with it. And so they are able to get away with it through the legal process. But yeah, so there's no standards for impounding a dog, really. Basically, if your dog, the law says, like, if your dog, in New Jersey, the law says if your dog causes serious bodily injury and or kills an animal, but the dog also has to present a danger to the community, and that is often overlooked. So if your dog kills another animal or bites a person, your dog will likely be impounded. So if that happens, I would recommend taking your dog to an undisclosed location as soon as that incident occurs, because it does take them a few days to come back. Sometimes they will say, oh, we need to take your dog for a 10-day quarantine. It's law. This is true. The 10-day quarantine is a health law that requires that any dog that bites to be quarantined for 10 days to see if it exhibits signs of rabies. They will make you do this even if your dog has a rabies vaccination, but the law doesn't permit the quarantine to happen at home, and it usually does unless you have a terrible human being for an animal control officer. Then they will trick you and be like, oh, we just need to take the dog just to monitor him for 10 days, and then you can come and pick the dog up. And then 10 days later, when you go to pick the dog up, boom, no, you can't get your dog. We lied, but they're not going to tell you that. And then you're like, well, what? And then they're like, too bad, so sad. Your dog's a dangerous menace to society. We're not giving you your dog back. Oh, and by the way, pay us. And then you have to have a hearing and all of that. So make them get a warrant. Hide your dog. Hide your kids. Hide your wives, if any of you are old enough to remember that. But definitely hide your dog. And yeah, call us, because we can help you in that situation. You just got to have the grit and the stamina to know that law enforcement is going to threaten you with a lot of scary things. But as a human, you have a lot more rights than your dog, and it is a lot easier to make sure your rights are enforced than your dog's rights if they impound your dog. So that is my advice to you. Give us a call if you are in New Jersey and you're accused of harboring a dangerous dog or a potentially dangerous dog, and your dog is impounded or not impounded. It doesn't matter. If you're accused of it, give us a call. But if your dog killed another animal or bit a human, definitely give us a call, and definitely hide your dog. Okay, 215-664-8448, or check out our website, theanimallawfirm.com. We have a lot of information on dog bites and what to do if you are accused of your dog biting another something. Do not talk to law enforcement. Just don't do it, please, for the love of God. They will ask you to give them a statement or to write out a statement. Do not do it. Plead the fifth. Tell them, no, I'm pleading the fifth. Tell them, no, I watched an attorney's video. I'm not giving a statement. I want to talk to my attorney first. They do not want the truth. They do not want to help you. They are not going to give you your dog back if you tell them the truth, if you explain things. They do not care. They just want to close the case, get those fines, screw you over as much as possible. Don't talk to law enforcement. Please, please, please do not talk to law enforcement. Plead the fifth. Remember those words. I'm pleading the fifth. Okay, that's it for today, underdogs. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you next time.